Hello, I'm Mr. Hartgrave, and this is Everything Wrong with Marvel Strike Force, where we explore the underlying issues with Marvel Strike Force, not just the surface level ones. I'm going to get into what that means and all of the new issues that we're going to put in front of Community Manager Archangel in this video. But before I do that, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and check out the sponsor this week. It's Scarlet Spider Comics. They are a reseller on Whatnot. Links are down below to get yourself a free $10 credit. Gives you a $10 credit, gives them a $10 credit. So make sure you use it. Check out one of their auctions. Mention you're a Gravedigger, and you should get some extra stuff when they send you your comics. All right. In addition to that, Scarlet Spider Comics is also sending Zemo to ZapCon. ZapCon is a local comic book convention for cosplayers and comic book sellers and retro gamers here in New Jersey. So if you're in the tri-state area and you want to run into Zemo, make sure you show up early around 10 a.m. September 10th. That's right, coming up this Saturday. And as long as we're talking about cool things happening in New Jersey, my friend Kyler Sane of the Muckrakers has been hanging out with me on this channel. We've been doing deep dives into various bands' discographies. So make sure you subscribe for that kind of content and check out some of these upcoming shows. Who knows? Maybe you'll even run into a wild Mr. Hartgrave there. All right, what we're getting into today, though, is what is wrong with Marvel Strike Force. And we're going to start off with this Reddit post. And I'm not going to cover this because this is kind of what I'm not talking about. I'm trying to get down into the deeper issues with Marvel Strike Force and not focus on these surface level new things. Not to say these things are bad. Like, thank you so much, Easter here for posting this to keep reminding the developers and the envoys that these issues need to be resolved or acknowledged. And let me let you know, this has been carried forward and hopefully some of this will be addressed. Although I don't know, I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to give you anything to compensate you for the Dazzler milestone debacle or the free Gambit shards. We really haven't heard much about that. For an update on that, raid season milestone rewards, I don't know, bug or intentional. Calendar rewards, they gave us a second calendar, but everything was reset back to day one and no one knows how that's going to work. No communication has been had there. War season T4s, it was acknowledged this would be adjusted, and it still hasn't with 4 days left, but it was acknowledged that it would be adjusted. So I assume that it will be. Who knows? But just to let you know, we are on top of all these things as well. Like, don't think because I'm doing this series and talking about deeper issues that we don't still press on all these, or that I'm not aware of all the other issues. I'm aware of them, but they're already getting enough traction in the community. And so that's why I'm doing things like I'm doing here on my YouTube channel. I also want to call your attention to this because these are the front lines. These are the issues that we're pressing the hardest. So make sure you go to the community section of the YouTube page and just throw a vote on here. Literally, I just need these to be bigger. I can't believe none of these have hit 2,000 votes yet. Let's go make them hit 2,000 votes. And let me show you how you get an issue onto the front page. Let's dig in to my Discord server. Here we go. Where's the Discord server at? There it is. Okay, here's the Discord server, and there it is right there. Okay, so it's Fix MSF today. I've compiled a new list of issues that we're going to be working on, and it all stems out of the Everything Wrong with Marvel Strike Force channel, which you can find on the server here. People will put their requests down here, and I will take the ones that make the most sense and are the most relevant and move them up into the Fix Marvel Strike Force Today channel, which is what we're going to look at now. These are the new issues. Now, this is the video where we're going to explain all of the issues that are in here. And then what you need to do is there's a link down below to go to my Discord server. You can go to that, and then you can react to these with a 100 for the ones that you think we should, take forward, move to the next step. Get in front of Community Manager Archangel. Now, most of these I do send over to Community Manager Archangel unless they really don't get very many reactions at all. Right now, what we're seeing is we need one of these issues to have around 400 reactions to stay pinned and active, which means I follow up on it weekly. So not only will I take this to the next step, I will follow up on it weekly. So the next Everything Wrong with Marvel Strike Force video that comes out will be an update giving you a kind of an idea of where we're at on the issues that we bring in this week, right? So the only way we're going to get this done is to keep hammering on it. And at this point, to get something up on YouTube, like we saw earlier, it really needs to have about 600 reactions on it. So we need to see 600 or more, and then it's going to get moved on to the YouTube channel where we can really put some pressure on them to do some things that they do not want to do. All right, number one issue today, this week, is going to be request a listing of every item that can show up in every store. I'm assuming that this would be done on MSFGG. What do I mean by this? Right? What is Mr. Hargrave talking about? All right, this is what I'm talking about here. So if you're in game and you go to one of the stores, I think one of the ones that has the most confusion about it right now is maybe the War store is one of the more confusing ones because there's no War character orb. There's no way to actually know which characters could show up, which pieces of gear could show up. I kind of know because I interact with it a lot, but a lot of casual players have no idea what's going on here. It's even hard for me to show you as a content creator. The War store is probably the worst one on here as far as what can actually show up in here. And what I would request is there is a great website called MSFGG, which can connect to your account. And I think they should list, what's in every store, kind of maybe the odds of things appearing. I don't know, some more information on what's actually available. I think there's often confusion about what's available in the gold store as well, as far as which pieces of Teal gear, how many of an item, how much it costs. All that should kind of be detailed out somewhere. It's literally detailed out nowhere right now. So yeah, I would like to see that done. I think that is a good issue. Although I don't know if I might need to contact someone new. I don't really have much contact with the people who run MSFGG. Although maybe I can get that contact if this gets enough reaction on it. Okay, the next one up is request a notification for leaders and captains when a raid ends. I have a feeling that not enough people are going to react to this one. Leaders and captains get ignored a lot in the discourse around this game, and that's a damn shame because we do the most. This really needs to happen. We have a lot of notifications now that push out of the game. We had notifications when there's one core offers. I get notifications when my blitz teams are ready to blitz again. There's a lot of extra cool notifications that have been pushed out. It would be really super helpful for leaders and captains to know when a raid ends, either by 100% or when it just ends normally, so that we can jump on and get the next raid going. I don't know why that hasn't been a feature from day one. Seems like something that they could implement fairly quickly. Please vote for it. Help leaders and captains out. All right. Request that event campaign nodes have enough fragments on them so you aren't left with only 10 out of 70 fragments. If you haven't seen this, and you might not see this if you don't follow my method of spending like 600 cores a day when we have event campaigns come around. But we're about to have another one with the new patch. And what will happen is when you full farm a node for event campaign energy, when you get down to the end and you're running out of fragments, there will only be 10 fragments left at the end. It's not divisible by the amount of fragments that can be farmed. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. There was a pretty good picture on this site. I might have to throw that up somewhere or maybe to explain that to Archangel. But look, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Let's click and get this done. We're still working on getting the cap on event campaign energy raised. It would be great to do this in conjunction with that so that what happens is you end up with like 10 fragments on a node. And then if you farm it, it's supposed to give you 70 fragments, but it only gives you 10. It's just stupid. It's just the dumbest thing ever, and I would love to get that fixed. All right, next up, and this is actually a pretty big deal, so I do need your help on this. I do need you to react to this. We need to get more save squads for lower level players. Lower level players get only 15 save squads. That's crazy. They have 30, 40 teams, but they only have the slots for 15. That's insane. So when we have these blitz heavy events, not only are new players at a huge disadvantage to begin with, but now they have to manually select all of their teams, or at least 15 of them, because they just don't have enough. 30 should be the minimum, and then we should go from there. What my chat was telling me earlier today is you got to be like level 70 to even get like 30 extra slots. It's crazy. It's you're going to have so many, there's so many characters available in this game. And as a new player, you're constantly unlocking new characters. You need to have more save squads than 15. Maybe this is something we can get fixed quickly. So definitely react to that. All right. Recently we've had some debacles with events starting at the wrong time. I would propose, and I would like to request, that all events just start on Monday. Let's not start events on the weekends anymore. Let's pick a day and let's stick with it. I think Monday would be great. Monday comes, the new events start. They start when everybody's in the office. Hey, wouldn't that be something? All right, you should know what I'm talking about here. Let's get events to start, not on a weekend. Maybe I should have said just not on a weekend, but hey, maybe they can all start on Monday too. All right, next up, and this seems long overdue, we need a Teal War Orb. So the players may have caused this problem. I can acknowledge that. We have all hoarded elite war credits to an absurd amount. No one's been opening elite war credits for I don't know how long. I have over 300,000 of them. And in the hopes of getting a Teal War Orb. I think it's long overdue. I think it's something we need to put in here. Of course, it won't have tier 17 uniques in it. There will probably be, we always speculated there would be 2 Teal War Orbs. There would be a War Orb 1 and a War Orb 2. I think it's probably time, well past time, to finally get the Teal War Orb in the game. Let's vote for it. Let's press them to do it. It's ridiculous that it's not here. We need so many characters up to tier 17 for the Horseman sagas that we need some way to start opening up the Teal floodgates. This would be a great way to do it. Maybe while you're at it, rework the Orange Gear War Orb 1 and 2 as well. Make them more desirable or make them cheaper. I don't know. Let's start with just getting the Teal Orb in the game. All right, next up, we'd like to request the option to retreat. Same as force close. So the same thing you do where you force close. Be present in all game modes. I think this got brought up that it's not in raids. And yeah, it's pretty stupid that you're able to force close the game and save your squads and then come back. But you can't just do that in game with a button. I probably still would force close because I don't trust myself to hit the right button in the heat of the moment. But it does seem like having a retreat button in all game modes when you're able to do the same thing just by force closing the application would be a good idea. This is fully implemented in Tower, so it's something I know they can do. Probably be a cool thing to have in all game modes. All right, next up. This is done in other mobile games, so it could be done here as well. An annual tier down event where we can remove gear from characters. I should also mention we get it back to put on other characters, not just remove it and disintegrate it into thin air. But in other games you can do this, and so you could take old meta. Like, okay, I'm no longer using, most of Heroes for Hire. Let me take all the gear off of them, and now I can repurpose it to other characters. Maybe it's some kind of ratio, maybe 2-to-1. So for every, catalyst you pull off, every 2 catalysts you pull off, you only get 1 back in your inventory. I don't know how they want to work it, but it is something that's standard practice in other mobile games. And it's a good way to combat feelings like I'm wasting my gear or, oh, I'm building this. Like, it would give me the confidence to build for Scourge, knowing that next year, if I made mistakes, I could then fix those mistakes by once a year being able to kind of respec my roster. I think it would be a cool idea. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know if I would take how much I would use it if it came, or what would be advisable about that. But since other games have it, I figured we can go ahead and put it here and see what kind of traction it gets. Let me know. Does that sound like something you would use? All right, next up. And this one is probably way more involved than we are really thinking it would be. Everyone suggests this. This gets suggested a lot. And that's the ability to favorite campaign nodes for ease of farming. I've seen this suggested over and over and over again because we're able to favorite out characters. So people want to, by extension, favorite out campaign nodes. Now, the only issue is that I think it was fairly simple for them to implement favoriting a character because we already have a roster screen that can be sorted. We don't have this for campaign nodes. So what they would have to do is probably make some area in here for the campaigns where you could go in and you could take your node and then, put a heart on it, favorite it out. Or maybe just, this could say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then heart. And then if you go over, and maybe you could load right up with the favorites. And then if you go in, it could have all your favorited, Doom nodes. That might be I don't really know. I'm not really here to tell them how to do their jobs or how to implement this stuff. I'm just trying to explain to you what that might entail or what that might be. And then from there, we can decide whether that is something that we actually want. For me, I would very much like that. I think that would be a great feature to have because I'll come in here and hunt around. It'll take me, I probably spend 10 minutes a day fooling around with these campaign nodes. Whereas if I just had a favorited section, it would save me that amount of time daily. So that would be kind of cool to be able to do that. All right. I think maybe that's something people thought when we got inventory, although we got inventory on MSF GG. So we don't really have an inventory screen and we probably never will. But maybe we can favorite campaign nodes. I don't know. All right. Moving on to our last issue. And I kind of suspect that I'm going to get flamed on this one, but I'm going to say it anyways, because I already mentioned this in a different video and people misunderstood me. So let me try to make it clear. I love Tower and I love rewards. Rewards in Tower are great. And it looks like we're going to get another Tower mode soon. The problem is that we now fully understand, if you've been following this channel, you know that we found out why we didn't get a Tower for like 3 months. And the reason why is because Tower is considered to be an event. So when something is an event, it has to be cleared by like everybody else on the development team. And sometimes other people on the development team can go, no, we need those rewards for this. We know we've already given those rewards as compensation, whatever it may be. Tower mode can get shut down and it looks like it can be shut down for months at a time. My request, and I want you to vote on, just do it for me. Do it for the content, because I will make content on this and it will be very good. Very good content is what I promise you from Mr. Hartgrave. Just vote on the damn issue. I want to make a legacy Tower mode. So fine. Tower mode can be Tower mode and Tower mode can be infrequent and it can happen once every year, whatever. But I would like to see a mode in the game. You can put it right in with the other Dark Dimension, the legendary, what do they call them in the game? Let me pull this up here for a second so I use the right term. Epic campaign. Right here in the epic campaigns, put, Legacy Tower or just whatever. Tower mode where you can restart it, right? It would work the same way as Tower. This is how I'm envisioning it. They can do whatever they want. But basically, the thing that I would like to see is that I did not get to beat the previous Tower. The new Tower that's coming will have new rewards and it'll probably have a new layout. It'll probably look maybe nothing like the old Tower, or who knows, maybe they'll just copy and paste the old one. I have no idea. But the thought, God damn it, I swear to fucking God, guys, don't put your goddamn reactions on here. I will ban you off my server. I swear to God. I will ban you off my server. This is not a place. If you don't want something, then don't vote for it. You don't need to give me a thumbs down reaction to it. I get that the community doesn't want to actually play the game. I understand that this community does not want to play this game. I do. I want to actually have some gameplay in Marvel Strike Force, and that's why I want this Legacy Tower mode. And it doesn't have to have any rewards. You don't have to play it. Minimal rewards is what I'm asking for. A one-time reward for beating floor number 100, right? So you start it over. Every 7 days, you get to start it over, right? And every 7 days it clears. And if you can't beat it in 7 days, your roster refreshing every day, just like the normal tower works. If you make it all the way to floor 100, you get some small little reward, like a little profile border pick, the borders that go around your avatar, or like a costume, like the Wolverine costume that could stick at the top of this thing instead of trying to charge $200 for it. Whatever, I don't care. I just want to see I want to be able to experience the content that's been developed for the game. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and grave diggers, keep digging. But myself keeps slipping.